There's a specific kind of exhaustion that nobody talks about. The kind where you stand in the middle of your room, look around, and instantly feel overwhelmed. Clothes hanging over chairs, unopened packages, random objects scattered everywhere, a desk you haven't properly seen in weeks. And somehow, even thinking about cleaning feels exhausting. People call it laziness. But psychology tells a very different story. Because most messy people are not lazy. They're mentally overloaded. Your environment affects your nervous system more than you realize. A cluttered room constantly sends signals to the brain that something is unfinished, unresolved, incomplete. Even when you're resting, your mind never fully relaxes. Research shows that people living in cluttered environments often experience higher stress levels, lower focus, mental fatigue, and emotional exhaustion. And here's the cruel part. That exhaustion makes cleaning even harder. Your brain enters a cycle. The mess creates stress, and stress creates more mess. For many people, this is connected to something psychologists call executive dysfunction. This is extremely common in ADHD, anxiety, burnout, and depression. Your brain wants to clean, but it struggles to organize actions in the correct order. You pick up a shirt, then notice a book, then remember a task, then open your phone. Then suddenly an hour disappears. Not because you don't care, because your brain is overloaded with competing signals. Every object demands attention at the same time. And eventually, the mind shuts down completely. Depression makes this even heavier. When someone is emotionally exhausted, simple tasks start feeling enormous. Washing dishes feels impossible. Folding clothes feels draining. Even deciding where something belongs becomes mentally exhausting. And over time, the room slowly becomes a physical reflection of what's happening internally. The chaos outside begins mirroring the chaos inside. But there's another hidden reason clutter grows. Decision fatigue. Every item in your room represents a tiny, unfinished decision. Keep it, throw it away, move it, organize it later. Most clutter is not random. It's postponed decisions stacking on top of each other for weeks, sometimes years. And this is why shame usually makes things worse. When people are pressured or judged, the brain often reacts defensively. Psychologists call this psychological reactance. The more someone feels controlled, the more resistance they feel internally. That's why being told, just clean your room, rarely helps. Because the real problem usually isn't discipline. It's emotional overload. But here's something important. A messy room does not mean you are broken. Sometimes it means your nervous system has simply been carrying too much for too long. And strangely enough, cleaning itself can become therapeutic. Studies show that small acts of organizing and tidying can reduce anxiety and restore a sense of control. Not because cleanliness makes you a better person, but because order gives the brain space to breathe again. And no, you do not need to transform your entire life overnight. Start smaller than your mind thinks is necessary. Pick up one shirt. Throw away one piece of trash. Clear one corner of the room. That tiny action matters more than you realize. Because healing often begins with very small moments of movement. Your mess is not your identity. It's a signal that your mind may be tired, overstimulated, or emotionally overwhelmed. And maybe the goal isn't becoming perfectly organized. Maybe the goal is simply creating a space where your nervous system finally feels safe again.